Hi, I'm Jonathan MacDonald, and I wanted to give you a quick overview of how you can speak to camera in ways that people will resonate with, even though you can't see them. So I've spent almost 3 decades on stage helping companies expand the way that they think. And the audience types have varied from those that are really proactive to some that are extremely dismissive and kind of almost standoffish in their reactions in the audience. And when you're speaking online, you're going to be facing the same type of spectrum of the types of people that you can imagine in real life. And in fact, that's the key point. One of the key tips of resonating through a screen is to imagine the type of people that you're speaking in front of, even though you can't see them. So there will be people who respond more to an ethical plea, if you like, of your character, people who will respond to you speaking of your credibility from the past or present. There's going to be others who respond to your emotional pleas, to their feelings. And there's going to be other people who respond to the logical truth of what you're saying. And that ethos, pathos, logos is actually from Aristotle, of course, and his rules of argumentation. And it works very well when we speak over those 3 type of pleas to an audience. So for instance, I'll give you an example. If you're speaking about something that you are a business expert in, let's say, and let's take web design for the sake of argument, you could speak about web design from the point of the fact that you have built 30 or 40 websites for government offices through to charities, through to businesses. That's an ethical plea of credibility. And that will resonate with people who need to hear that. But if you also are speaking in front of an audience you can't see that are bound to be full of people who are also reacting better to emotional pleas, then you can say about how you feel a website actually is a thing of poetic beauty that makes you feel involved with a brand. It can make you feel warm to a brand, to want to be with the brand as a personality. This is an emotional plea. Then there'll be people who respond purely to the facts. I have built 26 websites that have had 455 pages in with 17 different payment engines where you can use an API integration from Stripe, PayPal and Shopify. So those logical bits sound a bit like there's an ethical plea, but really it's the stats that people want. They want the units of logical truth. And we online, when we're speaking online, need to speak to all 3 characteristics at the same time. In addition to that, when we're actually going through a story with a beginning, middle and end, we have to imagine that we have to be guiding the audience through rather than responding to the audience wanting to kind of lean in on one part of the story and lean out on another part. We have to actually do that guidance for them. So we have to speak through the story in its entirety. So we, rather than offline, when we're on a stage where we can kind of skip bits, we can get a slide up that isn't really resonating and we can skip faster. When we're online, we have to actually cover the story in a comprehensive enough way, but not too comprehensive so that it bores people and you disengage them, which is why you have to layer the ethos, pathos and logos on top of that entire methodology. When it comes to script, a lot of times we are tempted to write down everything we're going to say, and that kind of gives us a sense of comfort. But in fact, only having headings is far more effective, and even better still is actually knowing so much about what you're saying that you don't actually need to have the headings or a script. The trick to do that is to have lots of conversations with people about the topic that you want to speak about. If you have a lot of conversations, you tend to gain a kind of a patter, a kind of a methodology of the way that you say these things. And so this video that I'm making for you right now is almost exactly what I would say to someone who calls me up and asking for advice about how to do online speaking. So I don't kind of have a script in mind that I want to cover, because these are just the key points in my head that I know are the way that it works. Another point is about delivery style. When you're speaking online, we are tempted to either be way too trivial or way too official, because we somehow feel that the medium is requires a different approach. The actual answer is to be the person that you really are. So the person that you actually are presenting of that business expert or that passionista about this particular topic matter, the authenticity of that, of actually who your personality is. So if you are quite geeky, be geeky. If you're quite laissez-faire and informal, be informal. If you're someone who is a suited, booted, tie-done up to the top person, and that's really you, then be really you. But if you actually can tune into that personality, provided that it is an authentic part of yourself, doesn't need to be all of yourself, can be a characteristic inside yourself, provided you can step into that on repeat, on demand, then you can produce any form of content. And finally is to have fun with it. If you don't enjoy recording video content, my advice is not to do it. There should be nothing in life that you have to do that you don't enjoy. Yes, it's tough to make money in uncertain times and actually look at various different models of earning revenue. But I would cross-match the models of earning revenue with what you enjoy doing and not do the stuff that you don't enjoy. However, sometimes you kind of do need to do those things. So I don't really enjoy writing blogs, but I kind of have to write blogs because people do seem to engage with that content and it's a useful channel to various other things like books. So what I do instead is I tend to speak ideas and then they can be transcribed either by machines or by people. I don't like writing 500 or 800 words. So what is your hack? If you have to go in a certain direction, what is your hack? Maybe you would prefer to pre-record content rather than have live content because it means you can edit it again and again and again and you don't have to worry about a live audience. Maybe you get off on the live audience side, you don't really care about it being so exact, therefore do that. So that there's no right or wrong answer apart from enjoying it as much as you can, especially in these uncertain times. So anyway, that was a quick 7-minute overview of how to speak on camera. If this resonates with you a lot, I have 2 separate courses at the moment that may be worth looking into more. One is called How to Be a Professional Speaker. And I've put every single learning that I've had in the last 2 or 3 decades into this course. You can go to jonathanmacdonald.com/masterclasses. The link's here on the screen, and you can see the link to Udemy, where you can, sometimes, quite often, you can get that at a crazy low discounted price. Every other day they have kind of like a fire sale, and the price goes down to virtually nothing and then goes up again and so forth. So that's on Udemy, and it will cover how the industry works, choosing your topics, your themes, presentations, how much you charge to speak, how to deliver on client briefing calls, and how to grow your career and powerful things to say and everything else like that. That's how to be a professional speaker. And then there's a course called Upgrade Your Life Skills and Opportunities. And that upgrade course is even more affordable than the How to Be a Professional Speaker course. And it covers the art of persuasion, so how to say things in a way that resonates, how to create game-changing ideas that actually will shift marketplaces, how to gain unfair competitive advantage, which is all pretty much self-explanatory, and it's ethically right, not just unfair competitive advantage in a bad way. It's actually about how to manipulate markets in a good, positive way to out-compete against your competition. And then there's 2 others, one of which is called Making Money While You Sleep. I think you'll like that one. It sounds good, it's a great feeling. And finally, Pivoting Your Career Online, which actually is about taking what you did offline into online. And I repeat about, in that module, I repeat about 5% of what I've just said now. So if those courses resonate, then you can go to jonathanmacdonald.com/masterclasses. The link's on the screen right now. Be careful of the spelling. And I hope this has added some form of value to your life, and good luck out there. Stay safe, wash your hands. Cheers.